3-month project. This is what you need if you want to go from no job as a developer to paid developer. And in this video, I'm gonna make an argument for why that is, and I'm gonna make you understand the principles behind it. What are the benefits of working on a long-term project? I'm gonna try to convince you to do it so you can actually become successful. So one of the biggest problems that I see with most developers, either self-taught or bootcamp grads, is that they get to a certain level, they stop there, they start applying, they start to stagnate, and then with time, their skills start to decay. They will eventually quit, they'll burn out from applying, from not getting any replies, and then they'll go back to their regular jobs. They'll blame the industry and say, oh, this is too saturated. Oh, nobody is giving me a chance. In this video, I want to help you understand what you have to do to achieve this goal finally for yourself. So the goal is to build a 3-month project. And the reason why I chose this 3-month mark, not like the time is relevant, but what you can achieve in these 3 months is quite significant. So if you finish the bootcamp, or if you are a self-taught developer and if you've built like a MERN clone or something like that, and right now you're looking for a job, that's the right moment to start implementing this 3-month project idea, okay? So this is not for you if you're a complete beginner, although you'll get some tips and I'm sure it's gonna help you overcome some of these problems when you'll have them in the future, because you will go through these problems in the future, trust me. When you make this conscious decision, okay, I want to work on a project for 3 months, there are a few things that you will learn. The first thing that you will learn is how to actually use your tech stack. Build a project by yourself for like a week or so. You might think that you are smart. You might think that you have the skills that you need to get a job, and that makes you delusional, incompetent, okay, in terms of like what skills you can bring to the table to a proper company that is willing to pay you. And you need to understand that, okay? You need to like kind of humble yourself down. I know it sounds harsh and nobody is willing to tell you this, but you have no value yet, okay? Because you don't have enough experience. So when you decide to, okay, let me actually put these 3 months into this project, what you'll start to learn is what you're actually missing from your skill set. Because when you start to build this project, it's not like you're gonna learn every single day something new, but you are going to repeat the same thing from a slightly different angle, and then you'll start to understand like the finer points around doing something. And then you learn how to do something better and how to make something be pleasant for the user and whatnot. And all these interactions and all these iterations over the same thing over a longer period of time, where you are actually consistent trying to add more stuff to your project, you'll start to get experience, okay? Because experience, in my opinion, the way I see it, try to figure out if I'm right or wrong, is exposure to the same thing over and over. And then as you are exposed to the same things, you want to push your limits slightly from time to time, and then when you push those limits, you'll find quirks, you'll find different edge cases that you never even thought about, okay? Because in your bootcamp or in your course, you've only been shown like the proper stuff, the easy stuff. But when you start building something more real world, more realistic, a longer project, you'll start to see like weird quirks of JavaScript, or weird quirks of like how to set up your project and whatnot. And when you start to spend this time, you'll just gain experience, you'll just gain proficiency, you'll just gain confidence. Imagine you just finished a bootcamp, or you just build like the most basic MERN stack application, like an e-commerce clone which has like a cart or some bullshit like that. Do you really have the confidence to go in front of someone and say, pay me? If you're not a psychopath, you should say no. And I'm not saying that that 3-month project is gonna help you become a senior developer, no, but it's gonna make you see your incompetencies, so then you can start building yourself up to that senior developer position. Also, when you start working on this 3-month project, you'll start to gain some appreciation for it, and you maybe wanna actually make it a real thing, right? And those 3 months might become 6 months, might become 9 months, might become 12 months. And imagine yourself working on this project for a very long period of time. You finally get an interview because you took care of everything. Now imagine how many things you have to talk about. How many problems have you been going through? How many issues have you solved? How did you manage your time? How did you overcome different mindset blocks that you had as you were building this project. And those will be very good topics to discuss with the recruiter, with the hiring manager, with the software developers. They will see that you have indeed experience. And that's gonna get you hired, spending this time. And not spending, because that's the wrong word to use here, is investing. You wanna invest this time into this project, and this project is gonna reward you with a brand new job. Because if you spend the time, you're not gonna get anywhere. Look at people who finished the bootcamp 3 years ago and they are still, level 8 in Code Wars. They are practicing lit code every day and never have an interview. They stopped coding. They have no projects. They have nothing. Imagine if instead of practicing algorithms and blaming people for not being able to land a job in tech because it's saturated and whatnot, they would have spent 3 years building a project. Well, their life would be totally different. But they don't do that because they don't have access to this information. And the reason why they don't have access to this information is because my channel is small. So if you want other people to have access to this new paradigm shift, I hope it's a new paradigm shift because nobody really talks about this in this industry. Well, you need to like this video, you need to subscribe, you need to comment. Now, another thing that you'll realize as you build this project is how important it is to have a team, and you'll understand how complexity grows over time. Because when you have like 2-3 files, whatever, your projects are very simple, okay? They are not impressive at all, okay? Like ChatGPT can't make them with one command. But as you add more features, you add more problems, more code, more problems. Then you start to realize that I need to have people in my team to help me out. And then if you manage to bring someone on board to help you out with your project, then you learn how to use Git properly. Because if you just use Git, like just pushing stuff like it's Dropbox or Google Drive, then you are not using it properly. Then you might look into something like Jira to manage your tasks and whatnot. That's also gonna help you understand this software developer mindset, because it's different than a coder that learns from a YouTube or something like that. Not that that is bad, it's just that it's different than the real world. You are really playing with the big boys. It's a difficult thing to get into, but that's also good because you don't want everyone to be able to come into this industry, because if everyone comes in, salaries go down. The difficulty of entrance is quite high, okay? It's not as high as people think, it's just high. People's skills are still at the 2015 level. I think I used to be better in 2015, 2016 when I got into the industry compared with most people right now that are finishing bootcamp or being self-taught, from YouTube. And not just to blow my own horn, I just have experience to look around. I've seen many people and I've seen many portfolios. Figure out like what project you wanna work on that project for 3 months, develop the passion to work on that project for 3 months. And then with time, you'll want to work more and more. That's going to bring you a bunch of experience. Once you have the experience, you can start applying. Because you have experience, you have stuff to talk about in the interview, and that's going to bring you a job eventually. Maybe you're not even at that level yet, but you want to do it right. You don't want to waste your time like most people. You can apply for my free consultation call. The first link is in the description. In the second link, you can check out my program. You can check out the live calls that I do with people. You can check out the reviews that I give to people's code. You can check all those things out. This is my mission for this year, to make my program and my content more public so people can see what they're getting into before they get into it. So you can check that out. If you like it, if you like what you see there, apply and work with me. And if you don't want to apply and if you don't want to work with me, that's also good. I wish you good luck.